Hey everyone, it's the Real Sully G back once again on behalf of Hami, and today we are talking about accessories. Over the past 7 years, I have made probably hundreds of accessories for my Otamatones for all my videos and memes, and usually I've made these props from foam or paper or whatever I have laying around. And people have always asked where I get these hats and costumes for my Otamatones, and the simple answer is I make them, so there's nowhere you can just go and get these kind of costumes. But that got me thinking, what if there was? Now, believe it or not, I am not the first person to have this idea. Back around the year 2017, some 3D modeled accessories for Otamatones were floating around the internet, and unfortunately, all those 3D models that were made by God knows who seem to be lost to time. Every link you can find out there on the internet seems to lead to a dead end. But through the power of the Internet Archive, I was able to find them again. Now, over this roughly 1 year period, they made 5 pieces for the Otamatone. One of the pieces they released was called a universal holder. Now, this clipped onto the stem of the Otamatone and helped to hold some of these props in place. Right around Halloween of 2017, they released these bat wings for your Otamatone. As you can see, the universal holder clips into these bat wings, and then you simply push it on to the stem of your Otamatone. And just like that, your Otamatone is now a bat. Merry Christmas. Also utilizing the universal holder, they made a crown as well as a Naruto headband for you weebs. And the last item they made for the Otamatone were these little clip-on fangs for making it a vampire, I guess. If you take the latex face off the Otamatone, these fangs will simply sit on the plastic housing. And then when you put the latex face back on, your Otamatone is now a terrifying vampire. The fan website called this the Dracula Man, so there's that information. I actually really like the fangs. They're very cute, I think. But you know what would be cursed is if someone made human teeth for an Otamatone. I have created a monstrosity. So this was just a slightly modified version of the fangs. I just shrunk down the pointed teeth and kind of gave them all more flat edges. All right, so fantastic. I modified some 3D models. Let's up the ante a bit. One of the most common accessories I have to make for my Otamatone are hats. So let's make an Otamatone hat. I actually started by making a 3D model of an Otamatone that is roughly proportionate to the scale of an Otamatone in real life, so I can work on these models within Blender on top of the Otamatone model. From there, I just started building out a small baseball cap. I drew in some ridges to give it some texture. I also made a little hole in the back of the model so you can put the universal holder in there so it'll stay more securely on your Otamatone. And the grand reveal, oh, look at that little Otamatone hat. Ain't she adorable? As you can see, the universal holder just attaches on the back there. It's also concave, so it fits the Otamatone a little better. So all you have to do is just slide it on and it pops into place. And now, your Otamatone is looking quite stylish. I'm not gonna lie. Is kind of adorable. Now, I painted on some minor details just to make it pop from a distance, but it's pretty much good to go right off the printer. Adorable. Now, one of the internet's favorite Otamatone models is the Hatsune Miku Otamatone. Now, while I like the Otamatone overall, I've never been a huge fan of how they 2D printed the hair onto the Otamatone. It's a cool design that works from most angles, but I've just never personally been a fan of it. With the deluxe Hatsune Miku Otamatone, they actually included a plush wig that I think works much better. So that got me thinking, why don't I just make a wig for the smaller Hatsune Miku model? And guess what? I did just that. Now, this model prints in 3 pieces. You have the base hair shape with the black pigtail holders, and then you have 2 pigtails that have a ball joint at the end. I once again modeled this one in Blender over top of my Otamatone model. I printed out a couple tests along the way to see if the shape was right, the size was right, and I was pretty happy with the results I was getting. And so in the end, this is the design I landed on. As you can see, I used a blue filament, but then I painted over it with some more texture and added the black and pink to the pigtail holders. And the nice thing about this model is because it sits fully over the Otamatone, you do not need the universal holder. It actually just slips right on top of the Otamatone and fits quite nicely. So now we can finally have what I consider the perfect Hatsune Miku Otamatone. It's still fully functional with the hair accessory. I've obviously swapped out the face for just a plain white Otamatone face to get rid of that 2D printed hair, but I kept the Miku base because it has this nice black, blue, and pink color scheme that I really wanted to keep with the model. So this hair model, along with every other model I'm showcasing in this video, is available for download for free in the description. Have fun with it. Love it. And finally, I asked my Discord server what kind of accessories they'd like to see made for an Otamatone. Overwhelmingly, a lot of them said they want the Otamatone to have arms and legs. I think that is absolutely a cursed idea. and so we're gonna do it. Now, when I think of an automaton having arms and legs, I don't think of it as like part of the character. I imagine them sitting in this giant robot suit controlling the arms and legs. And so I found this great 3D model by Jaja 3D. It's a mobile phone stand that is also an exosuit. I think it's great, and I thought that was the perfect 3D model to work with. I've included the link to the original 3D model also in the description. Please go show support to the original creator. So I went into Blender and started to create a mock-up of how this could possibly work with an automaton. The idea I landed on was basically an automaton holder that has these arms and legs attached to it. So I created this carved out base for the automaton to sit on while making sure it would also balance on the robot legs when stood up. And did it work? You tell me. I've obviously done some weathering to it to give it this nice rustic metallic look, and I'm proud to say, they did surgery on an automaton. Oh, what have I done? Look how happy he looks in his new form, ready to destroy the world. Personally, I think that is the perfect way to display your automaton, so I will be printing 100 more for every automaton I own. I think that was a perfect finale for this video. What better way to end a video than by introducing a Mecha Otamatone. As I mentioned before, I've made all of these 3D models available to download for free in the description, so please print them out, give them a try, and then tag Hami and I in your amazing automaton creations. So that about wraps up this video. If you want to see more 3D printed accessories for your automaton in the future, give me your ideas below, and I'd be happy to make a second episode in the future. So thank you guys for watching, and thank you once again to Hami for allowing me to take over your YouTube channel. And as always, be kind to one another, stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.